How's it going, guys? Coffee here. Today I wanted to go over the Gemma 3 Flames of Pleasure leveling build. Pretty much for this, it's the same leveling build that she's been using for quite a while, except Hammer Vash is getting a nice little buff, which will help, which is pretty cool. Basically, Hammer Vash, it is a Demolisher charge skill. You will start off, it'll give you quick return first, and the first support you want to equip is actually multiple projectiles, because the projectiles on this now shotgun, which will give you a very, very high damage skill while you level. You'll be extremely tanky because of hardened and other basically defensive abilities for while you level. As you start, you just take this God of Might tree here. You're basically just pushing into the damage. You grab the reduced skill cost, and then you just push right across the top over here to grab this attack damage and movement speed. And then you grab the strength down here and the fire damage, or just the fire damage per 6 strength. It doesn't really matter which one you take. To be honest, you should just take this bottom one here. So, yeah. Then from there, you end up moving into the Warlord tree. This is where you just, again, you're taking this damage, some attack and cast speed, and then you are taking the skill area here, and then you're taking this area damage, chance to deal double damage, and weakening enemies, along with this affliction effect here. You want to end up pushing towards this, because when you grab True Flame, all of the dot damage additional bonus from affliction is also applied to your fire hit damage, so that gives you an extra little multiplier. They did adjust this tree here, so I selected sweep on the tree here. I'm hoping that, again, once they update it, they have moved things around a little bit on the tree. So on God of Might now, they removed Burnout and they moved it over to the Warlord tree here. So Burnout is your thing that you take here instead of Sweep, and then you are still taking True Flame. And then you end up taking Momentum, and then Great Strength over here instead. So everything else stays the same in regards to where you pick on the tree. For the Warlord tree, again, you're just going to be taking this fire damage, and then this attack and cast speed here. Then as you start to get deeper into the tree, you have a little bit of choices to make, but my recommendation is to just lean into taking this tree here, where you grab all of the strength and percent strength. That will give you a lot here, and then you can always grab this fire damage and this additional stuff later. The skill area is nice early on as well, just to ensure you're getting that shotgunning effect with the projectiles. So I recommend ensuring you still pick this up a little bit here. For your last tree, even though it's been nerfed slightly, you are still just going to take the Warlock tree for Indifference and Dirty Tricks. This does guarantee that you're going to inflict your ailments every time when you land things, which will just be a nice damage multiplier if you just throw a couple of additional supports onto your leap attack. So you can put added erosion and added cold and then added physical onto things if you don't already have it from here, just to get that additional trauma and wilt and frostbitten on the target in order to get Dirty Tricks to be triggering. Other than that, you're just taking this damage, stacking affliction effect as you can. And then same thing down here, grabbing this damage and elemental ailment avoidance. And then you're grabbing this cooldown recovery here. And then the damage and +1 skill level, and just grab a little bit of res here. Pretty much this is kind of what you're looking for. As you level, you will not really want to transition into Ignite, or for Ground Shake or Ignite off of this, until you get your gear. Most importantly is actually going to be the rings. Getting these with tier 1 or tier 0 mods is going to be really, really big. I know last league in SS8, these rings as tier 1 were 1 FE. So you should be able to get these as tier 1. Hopefully you can get them at tier 0 mods as well for like just a couple FE. If people aren't playing the build, then this build scales really, really easily, and you are pushing yourself very, very comfortably into tier 8 with very little money. And you can either use that to farm the money to push yourself into a Shackles build, which is going to be the true end game for this character. If you look around on ladder, pretty much for the character, that's going to be everything you see, because the build is just miles ahead of everything else that you can possibly build on the character, where you are basically stacking shackles into trauma, and basically stacking curses. So I will post the pictures of roughly the gear you're looking for. I mean, the build itself gets a little, it has a lot of scaling opportunity that you can get for it. That involves you basically stacking as many curses as you can, as well as curse effect on yourself, and some trauma effect, other things like that. But for your first transition into Ignite, which is what you're going to want to be doing, you want to get a False God skin with either double or triple strength mods on it, and then you want to get a Magnus' Scar, preferably if you can get one with the corruption here for the total strength. Obviously, again, if this is expensive, just get whatever you can. But getting this right here, this larger percent additional fire damage for every 10 strength, is going to be bigger. So you want to get that, and that's going to basically give you that big boost for you to be running Ground Shaker. So the other big thing you want to be doing is, as soon as you actually swap this over to Ignite, you want to make sure you are taking this additional fire damage down here instead, and then you are basically just ensuring you're grabbing all the strength. The hit damage stuff, you will have to move those points out. So any of the stuff, if you took any of this area damage or anything else like this, you will want to swap this part of the tree over here over to this tree up here to get this additional stack of Ignite. And then you want to swap this last trait off of True Flame into Starfire to increase your Ignite limit. If you have this damage down here and this area damage, you want to remove that because it doesn't actually do anything for the Ignite. So you remove those points, instead move it up here into the top for additional stacks of Ignite. And then same thing for the first tree. If you have any of the area damage nodes, you want to make sure you take those out and then swap it over to anything strength related or just fire damage related, and that will help with that. Yeah, so other than that, I have posted, I do have a video basically that showed a little bit of stuff when I was showcasing just proof of concept for the build. I can't record more footage right now because the servers are down, but again, nothing has changed. The pets have changed for this. You do get to just run triple of these affliction effect pets if you have them. So anything affliction effect based. So there's a few different ones. Again, if you have them, run them. If you have just the purple ones instead, run those. It's still going to give you a decent amount of affliction effect. So that's not changed at all. I will post this old video because, again, everything's still the same. The only thing that's changed here, pretty much, if you want to see the Ground Shaker transition of it, the only thing that's changed is you lose Wrathful Vault here, so just run a different damage support instead. You can just run like Added Ignite instead. That will probably still be better than nothing else. Or there might be a new Ground Shaker support that you can end up running in that space instead. But yeah, the build itself still scales very, very easily. I knew quite a few people who played it last league, following just this tier 7 guide that I didn't end up getting to because I had to spend so much time constantly updating the Iris build. But yeah, pushing this and transitioning into Shackles is a very steady and tried and true build. It just got a bit of a buff here with the buffs to Hammer of Ash, so you can stick on that, or again, if you want to, transition into the Ignite here with Ground Shaker, and you should be able to get a even smoother experience into Tier 8 and into that Shackles build. I'll cover the Shackles build in another video, just because it goes in depth. If you want to get to it before me, again, just look on the ladder and you'll see every single Shackles build. They'll be basically exactly the same. It's a pretty standard character basically for Gemma 3 at this point. So if you have any questions, leave them in the comments down below, and other than that, see you in the next one.